So today we are going to discuss about Minkowski space. So now, as you know, according to Galilean transformation, the time coordinate is basically unaffected by the transformation from one inertial system to the another. As you know, in Galilean transformation, x prime is equal to x minus v t, where v is the velocity of the second frame of reference, which is inertial frame of reference s prime, and y prime is equal to y, z prime is equal to z, and t prime is equal to t. Here all the four coordinates are independent of each other. Also, time coordinate of one frame of reference is not depending on position and space coordinate of other frame of reference. For example, if we are measuring time in s prime frame, we don't need to know the position of the particle in s frame. We only need the time, and both the time are same. So according to Galilean transformation, the time coordinate is independent of the position and time coordinate of the particle in the other frame of reference, other inertial frame of reference. But in relativistic physics, when we move towards Lorentz transformation, we know that position coordinate and time coordinate both are depending on position as well as space coordinate of the particle in the other inertial frame of reference. For example, if we are calculating the time of the particle, any particle which is moving somewhere, and we have to calculate its time in s prime frame of reference, then its time will depend on its position and its time in the s frame of reference, which was stationary. Similarly, if we have to calculate its time in the stationary frame of reference, we will have to know its position in the moving frame of reference as well as its time. So here the time coordinate and space coordinate are basically interrelated. So in relativistic physics, if we take position and time separately, it will be little unjust with the position coordinate as well as space coordinate. So it's like we have to calculate the thing, but we are not considering them together. So it's better that we should consider position and space coordinate as together. So this work was done by Minkowski, H. Minkowski. What he did, he defined a space called Minkowski space, which instead of being three-dimensional, in the three-dimensional space we take the position coordinate x, y and z, but in this four-dimensional, he considered it as four-dimensional space, where there are three position coordinate as well as one other coordinate, the fourth coordinate or the fourth dimension. He actually integrated the space and the time coordinate in the relativistic physics. So here the fourth coordinate is basically eta ct. This is the fourth coordinate, which was described by Minkowski. As you know, c is the velocity of light and t is the time. So if we multiply c by t, it will have dimension of ct will have dimension of position coordinate. So that means the position coordinate, there were three position coordinate and there is one fourth coordinate which also have the dimension of position, and that coordinate is ct. Iota basically we take because the Lorentz invariant quantity, just to make it a Lorentz invariant quantity that we will be discussing in the later classes. So here in Minkowski space there will be four coordinates to define the position of a particle in the four-dimensional Minkowski space. There will be four coordinates and they will be denoted by x1, x2, x3 and x4. x1 stands for the position coordinate, same position coordinate as it was in three-dimensional space, represented by x. x2 stands for the y coordinate in three-dimensional space. x3 stands for the z coordinate in the three-dimensional space. So x1, x2, x3 are the three position coordinate which we used to calculate earlier in the three-dimensional space. But x4 here is the ct, which is the fourth coordinate and is equivalent to ct. So in Minkowski space, just to define the position coordinate and the time coordinate as they are considered together. So to define the position of any particle in Minkowski space, we will call it a world point, and the path, if any particle is moving in the Minkowski space, then the path taken by this particle will be denoted by the world line. So let me just move to the next slide first. So here we are not considering the 4 dimensions, though we are considering the 4 dimensional space, but we are taking only the x coordinate of the position space. You can consider a particle moving along positive x direction. Okay, so its time is also changing and its position is also changing. So y and z coordinates are going to remain same. So that's why we have not considered y and z coordinate here, just for simplicity. So in the Minkowski space, this x coordinate is the x1 coordinate in the Minkowski space, and the y coordinate basically, which is equivalent to iota ct, iota as just equivalent to the as you define a complex number and you use the iota, and ct is the fourth coordinate. You can say that the slope of this line is, if we denote ct by m. Okay, suppose we take ct equal to m. Okay, so we have y is equal to iota m. So if, as you know, the equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. Here c is not the velocity of light, but c is the intercept. M is the m denotes the slope of the line. So in this 2-dimensional space, where x is the x coordinate and y coordinate is equivalent to ct, the slope of this line will be denoted by m. Clear? So the slope will be equal to 1 when y is equal to x. Here, if this slope is equal to 1, that means y is equal to x. That means the line, which is, if we draw, which is at 45 degree, which is giving the slope of a line y is equal to mx plus c, the slope will be tan 45, and that will be equivalent to 1. So that means in that case y will be equal to what? Ct. Here, so when this y is equal to x, that means x will be equal to ct, you can say. So this line here basically denote a light signal, as light travel in a straight line. So this is denoting a light signal. Here y is equal to ct, as light travel with the velocity of lights, which is c. So distance traveled by it will be y is equal to ct. Okay, so the line which is at 45 degree in this Minkowski space will denote the path of a light signal. And for example, if we take any other particle, any random particle which is traveling in space, so its path is denoted by this purple line, or you can say blue line. So if we have to find out, so this path is called as a world line. This is the world line of a particle, and at any point, if we want to know its position, suppose at this point, so at this point, this is called the world point. Okay, so the world line is basically collection of the world points traced by a particle. So we were considering the tangent of this world line at any point. Suppose if we are to calculate its tangent at this point, I'm taking this tangent, I'm drawing a tangent here at this particular point, and this is the vertical line that I have drawn, and this angle alpha. Suppose I calculate this tan alpha. Okay, here just calculate this tan alpha. So as you know, what is the value of tan alpha? Tangent is equivalent to what? Perpendicular over base. So here, this is the angle. So if I draw a perpendicular here, so that perpendicular is parallel to this distance. So that distance will be equal to x2 minus some x1. So that means I can write it as dx. And this distance as the dy, and that will be equal to c is going to remain same, that is t2 minus t1 c dt. So I can write it as c into dt. Clear? So here tan alpha will be equal to what? 1 over c dx over dt is basically the velocity of the particle, which is u. Clear? So this tan alpha is going to give you what? It's going to depend on u. So alpha will never be exceed this value 45 degree, because a particle can never have velocity greater than the velocity of light. Clear? So u by c will always be less than 1. U is always going to remain less than c. So that means u by c is always going to remain less than 1, which means alpha is going to remain less than 45 degree. Okay, so for any real particle, this angle alpha is going to remain less than 45 degree.